My name is Tauson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 6 of the Last Ball Drops. I'm joined today by Carson. How are we doing?
Doing well. How are you doing, Fergus?
I am good. Thank you very much. Right. Well, let's just jump straight into it. Probably the biggest story of the day coming out of Wimbledon is the defending champion Barbora Krejcikova falls to Emma Navarro in 3 sets. Carson, what do you think?
This was a really fun match. Emma played very well. It was a pretty tight one. Yeah, she pulls it out 2-6, 6-3, 6-4. Yes, a really nice win for her. She served pretty well today. I think she got around 67, 68% of her serves in. And Emma played well. Krejcikova, to me, it seems like she's still building up her match fitness a little bit, still coming back from injury. So has been playing well, been winning matches, won a couple of matches last week, won and got to the 3rd round here. So, but a top 10 player, maybe a step ahead of where she's at as far as her recovery right now.
It's not. Well, yes, just reading your comments, Nelly and Ghosty. It's just a defending champion, always someone to keep an eye on. But yeah, Barbora was clearly struggling with an injury in that 3rd, and Navarro never looked like she was going to back down once she saw that Krejcikova was struggling. But it's a big blow for Krejcikova's ranking. Now drops to 77 in the world, which is a very telling blow. As you say, Kirit, Navarro always underrated. A lot of people actually have her going quite far in this tournament. But yeah, another great performance from Navarro. She reached the quarters here last year. Also beat Coco Gauff. Very strong on the grass. We'll continue with the women to Clara Tauson versus Elena Rybakina. Now, Rybakina was pinned as one of the favorites coming into this tournament, along with Arina Sabalenka, and she has fallen in the 3rd round to a Tauson that is in very good form, but didn't have much grass court pedigree before Wimbledon, did she?
No, hasn't played on grass a ton. But this is a fantastic win for her. She played very, very well today. It was just really a step ahead of Rybakina throughout the entire match. First set, very tight, got to a tiebreaker. That one really went down to the wire, and then just got a break in the 2nd to pull ahead, and just never really let it back. She Rybakina didn't convert a break point in this match. She was 0-4, so just didn't create enough opportunities for herself. Tauson was able to convert one. She was 1 of 9, 1 of 10 on break points. So not very clinical on those, but if you're not going to allow your opponent to convert one, you don't need very many of them. So fantastic win for her, and brings up a pretty interesting draw on that side in that section now.
Yeah, as Ghosty actually says, it looked like Rybakina wasn't really in full flow, landing a lot of shots long, or just the forehand not really being as damaging as it so often is on the grass, especially obviously when she won here in 22. But yeah, just not Rybakina's day. There I saw a clip of Rybakina missing a smash at the net where she put it about 4 feet wide when she was standing on top of the net. Yeah, which I think kind of sums up how her day went, not being able to take those break points that she had. But Tauson actually served really well, considering, because Rybakina is such a big returner as well as her serve. She's obviously done well to keep it all within check. And yeah, Tauson kind of sets up an opportunity, some would say, but a clash with Iga Swiatek. I mean, that's a big showdown in round 4.
Yeah, that will be pretty interesting. Iga looked pretty good today, though, against Danielle Collins. So, yeah, I think Swiatek looked well. Maybe we can talk about that one here and then do a preview for that if we need. But
yeah,
I'm not sure if that's the direction you want to go.
No, well, yeah, absolutely, we can go that way. But Iga did play very well today. She looked very businesslike, almost like she does when she plays at Roland Garros. And not very often do we get to say that while she's playing at Wimbledon. But Collins didn't find any answers today. Swiatek wasn't broken, 86% on first serve, winning on first serve, sorry, that is. And yeah, just keeping the unforced errors down. I was actually at Wimbledon and I saw her second round match, Collins's second round match. And she looked like she was striking the ball very cleanly, but today it looked like she was overhitting a little bit. Just maybe the occasion of Iga kind of getting to her. But yeah, it's another good win for Iga on the grass, something that we haven't been able to say that much in the last couple of years.
It hasn't been a great head-to-head for Danielle Collins. I think it's 8-2 now after this match. So it's been fairly one-sided. Iga played very well today, though. Return was a really big part of her game today. It was just consistently getting into Danielle Collins' service games and just not letting her get comfortable very often. So fantastic match from her. She's another player that, this portion of the draw is really opening up a little bit now. So I think that she's another one who will look at this as an opportunity in this half now.
Yeah, and the draw opened up from the word go, right? But it's opening up even more so now. And yeah, Snelly kind of said it quite well that I personally, as well as Iga plays, I just don't see her lifting the trophy. But I feel like maybe even if it's, Sabalenka's got to be firm favorite now. If she wasn't beforehand, she's got to be now. No Rybakina to kind of stop her in her tracks. But yeah, could Iga make a run? Yeah, but not going to lift the trophy for me. I don't know about you.
I don't think it's the most likely scenario that she lifts the trophy, but up until the finals, she'll be favored against probably anyone on this half of the draw. So Tauson next, which will be a challenge for her, but probably not the same challenge that Rybakina would have been in that matchup. And then after that could set up a potentially interesting matchup with Samsonova in the quarterfinals, which Samsonova can hit anyone off of the court and also can hit herself off of the court sometimes. So you never really know with her, but yeah, she'll be favored against anyone, I think, on this half of the draw. And obviously, if you get to the finals, Sabalenka is the favorite to be waiting there. And this is a little bit of a different story on grass, but there's a lot of tennis to be played until then. There's still another week until the women's final. Yeah.
And it'd be quite ironic, right, that if we have a Swiatek Sabalenka final as probably the least, of all the slams, this still we've never had a Sabalenka Swiatek final, and the first time we get it is at Wimbledon. No one would have predicted that. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, as Ghosty said, if she's going to win a slam, if she's going to win Wimbledon, Swiatek, this is definitely the year to do it. There are not too many obstacles in her way that she'll feel like she can't get over. But looking towards the Tauson match, yeah, I think first serve percentage is a big thing here with how Swiatek likes to take the return position, just super early, immediately pull them out of her opponent out of position, and then that +1 forehand or even that +1 backhand is so deadly. We've seen it so many times on the clay, and she's kind of integrating it into the grass, which also works quite nicely.
Serve is going to be a massive part of that match.
Yeah, I actually think Tauson might come out on top in this one, just with the way she's been playing. I mean, I feel as though this Rybakina match is a huge confidence booster for her going into this Swiatek match. I feel like it's maybe a similar sort of a mindset going into it. Even a little bit less in a sense, Rybakina more practiced and more of a scalp on the grass, you would say. So, Tauson has every single opportunity to down Iga in this situation, but it's going to be tight. But I think I'm going to go Tauson in 3.
I honestly might just go with that as well. Tauson's been playing really well. It's a really heavy ball, which on grass matters a lot. Iga's going to give her a lot of rhythm. Iga doesn't necessarily switch up speeds too much. So I think Tauson's going to have the opportunity to get comfortable. And if she does, it's really going to come down to if she can keep balls inside of the lines.
Yeah, and I think this is one that could probably go quite long in a sense. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Clara Tauson, friend of the show, obviously. Just had to get that one in there. But yeah, Tauson's been outstanding this season. It's been a real breakout year for her, reaching her first Masters 1000 and that title in Auckland, where she beat and didn't beat Osaka at the same time. But yeah, just got to take it one game at a time. But I don't see why not. But yeah, moving away from Iga, we had a very solid result for Mira Andreeva, 6-1, 6-3 against Hailey Baptiste. A easier round 3 matchup for Andreeva.
Yeah, Baptiste has been playing well. Really over the last couple of months. She's looked solid, and second Grand Slam in a row where she's posed a little bit of danger to players. But yeah, just not her day. Didn't serve particularly well. Gave Mira Andreeva a lot of chances to get into games early and often. And yeah, Andreeva 5 of 7 on break points today. That's pretty good conversion rate. Andreeva also served pretty well, and then unforced errors to winners. Like crazy number for Andreeva. 28 winners, just 12 unforced errors. Like that's typically a sign of a pretty good day at the office, and she wins comfortably here.
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to be whether Baptiste could try to hit Andreeva off the court, but Andreeva's so quick around the court that she was always going to struggle if she wasn't painting the lines, really. And yeah, it's a pretty comfortable win for Andreeva in the end. Her run to the 4th round's kind of been a simpler one than others, definitely. But the draws opened up really quickly, and now she's got Navarro in round 4, which is definitely an interesting matchup. And it's a tight one for me. I don't know. I feel like Navarro has the edge here, just in terms of previous experience on this sort of court. But yeah, I think that Andreeva's been playing very well. I wasn't expecting huge things from this tournament from Mira, but yeah, she's had a nice draw, and yeah, it's good to see.
I'm just looking up the head-to-head in between the two. Looks like Andreeva is up 1-0 in the head-to-head. So
Yeah, played Cincinnati last year.
Yes.
Pretty comfortable front driver 6-2, 6-2 on that day. I think it'll be very different when they meet on Monday.
Yeah, I do think. I think I'm gonna pick Andreeva to pull through this one. Emma's been playing great this week. Andreeva's had I think you said a simpler run was the word you used. It has been, but she's been playing well. Yeah, I think that she's going to pull this one out.
We were talking earlier about Samsonova and someone that can blow you off the court or even, blow herself off the court. But she got it done very easily today against Kazakina, 6-2, 6-3. Kazakina, someone that's been in really patchy form coming into Wimbledon. And, she was defending 500 points at Eastbourne, even though Eastbourne got downgraded to a 250. Just looking at that comment from Ghosty. But I got downgraded and she just hasn't been in good form whatsoever. But, she put a few wins together, but Samsonova just hit her off the court, taking out that slice forehand of Kazakina's that she likes to use so often. But Samsonova just too good on this occasion.
Yeah, and I mean, grass is not Kazakina's favorite surface by any stretch of the imagination. Lost all 3 of her matches in the run-up to Wimbledon on grass, so get a couple of wins here is good for her, but I mean, on this surface, against a player who hits the ball as hard as Samsonova does, it's just a bad matchup for Kazakina. So, 6-2, 6-3, probably a deserving scoreline for Samsonova here, who served pretty well today as well. Got a lot of first serves in, and then Kazakina only got 2 break points converted. So, served well, got into return games, which, again, just a factor of how hard she hits the ball, the way that plays out on grass. So, fairly straightforward win here. But, this was one of the matches that I was interested in, but it kind of went about the way I expected it.
I did it. Yeah, it was always going to be tough for Kazakina, and she wasn't, checked in early. She didn't really get into any Samsonova service games that easily just to start putting the pressure on Samsonova early, and it was an easy win for her in the end. Samsonova obviously setting up that tie. Oh, she actually has Bruzas Monero in the round of 16, and that is another matchup she will be very, very interested in, to feel like she has a very easy, well, not easy, but a very big opportunity to reach the quarters here.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, she played well today. Bruzas Monero did against Yastremska, and I mean, Yastremska's it's been a pretty nice tournament for her so far to get here to the 3rd round. Obviously a win against Coco Gauff. But this was just one of those matches that she has sometimes where she'll go long periods without being able to get the ball inside of the court. And particularly the 3rd set was a little bit of a struggle to watch, but good tournament for her. But great win for Bruzas Monero, and into the 4th round. I think this is her first 4th round at Wimbledon.
At Wimbledon, I think, is it her first 4th round in a slam? Or I might be wrong there. But Yastremska, obviously that win over Goff not paying dividends today in her performance. Very different performance to her first round victory. But she's this kind of player that she can be so dangerous and then kind of lose these sort of matchups. 14 winners to 25 on forced errors. We're coming close to doubling your winners count to unforced errors. So, the first and thirds are obviously pretty, not very pretty in a sense, but yeah, Brunus Monero keeps the ball rolling, and Yastremska, it's maybe an opportunity she feel like has passed her by, but to reach the fourth round. But she's a good grass court player. I actually saw her in Nottingham 2 weeks ago, and she was really strong. Against who did she play? I have a feeling it was no, it was Fernandez. She played Fernandez 2 weeks ago, and she was very strong on that day. But Yastremska didn't serve too well today, and Monero had lots of looks on the service game.
This is her first fourth round in a slam.
It is. I thought it was.
Yeah. She made the third round at Wimbledon last year, actually, and a couple of other slams as well. So,
yeah. But a little milestone for Monero to go with her win today, so always nice. Moving to another big story. Bencic beats out Chicharito 6-4, 3-6, 7-6. A big last set tiebreak. Bencic obviously came back from maternity leave earlier this year in February, I think, when she won the title in Abu Dhabi. And she's putting together a run here. She's had a quieter sort of clay season, and then came into the grass, and now she's taken down the Italian. I mean, that's a gutsy last set tiebreak.
Yeah, and
an hour and 25 minutes final set. That's a long final set. That's grueling.
That's about as long as some matches that happened today.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Even. Very physical match in between these two. It's been a little bit slower in the last couple of months. She was out with injury for a little bit of time as well. So, another nice run deep into the slam here. She gets into the weekend. But props to Coach Aredo this week as well. This hasn't been an easy draw for her at all. Pegula in the first round, and then Katie Wollingnuts in second round. So has not played easy opponents for her on grass, but her ranking has slipped a little bit over the last really 12 to 18 months. So good to see her getting some wins here, getting some points, and hopefully moving back up the rankings soon.
I apologize for my botched pronunciation, but I mean, it's another great result for Bencic, to be honest. Still, obviously, coming back from maternity leave, what it's been very much. I mean, 4 or 5 months, and she's reached the fourth round of a slam, and has Alexandrova in the next round. Alexandrova will be the favorite going into that one, but we all know the level Bencic can produce. So I see no reason why Bencic can't. Yes, and we count it as a speech impediment over here to be the US. So this works both ways, Ghosty. Alexandrova will be favorite, but I see no reason why Bencic can't keep moving on.
We'll probably choose Alexandrova in the match. We haven't.
But again, we've seen the level that Bencic can play at, and if she can bring her best stuff, then it should be tight. But speaking of Alexandrova, our final women's match of today, it was Zainab Summers, friend of the show, who was beaten 6-3, 7-6 by Alexandrova. Second set breaker, could have got it close, but not to be Alexandrova, just locking down in the tiebreak, and Summers didn't really have a look in, unfortunately, to kind of bring herself back into the game. But Summers has created a bit of history this Wimbledon for Turkish tennis, hasn't she?
Yeah, and I mean, a little bit of a rough performance for her in the tiebreak, especially. Also, winners to unforced errors, not very good for a 13-28, so not a great ratio there by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, good run for her. And yeah, as you mentioned, it's a good run for Turkish tennis in regards to her performance here. So yeah, it means a lot for her to get to this stage of the tournament. But Alexandrova just so good today and so clinical in some key moments in the second set.
Yeah. Obviously the first Turkish women to make the third round of a Grand Slam. But I don't remember saying that. But, you know, did Carson say that? I didn't say favorite match, but yeah. Summer's just a little bit hefty on the errors, probably just pushing too much in that tiebreak, feeling as though she had to go for it, you know, to keep herself in the match. But yeah, not to be, but you know, she could be proud of, you know, how she's played this week. And Alexandrova keeps marching on. As we mentioned earlier, she'll be playing Bencic in round 4. Now to the men. I think we'll start with a very strange match in Kaboli versus Mensik. Mensik looked completely unbothered for the entirety of the match, which is very strange for someone that is ranked 15 in the world and has a very strong grass game, or has all the aspects of a very strong grass game. And against Kaboli today, just was not at the races at all.
Yeah, it was interesting. He's been playing relatively well this week. Has dropped a couple of sets, one in each of his matches. So, I mean, it's not like he's been absolutely dominant, but it has been good so far. Much better than what we saw today. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I mean, maybe there's something we don't know about with his health. You never know. We're not in that on his team, so perhaps there's something else going on, and leave room for that. But it wasn't a great performance today. He didn't look entirely interested in the match proportions of this, which, I mean, honestly, we could say this about a lot of players, but like it's not the worst part of the draw to be in. Like you could get
yeah.
So, yeah, but really good win for Kabali. He had a pretty slow start to the year, but has really turned it around in the last couple of months. Has got a couple of titles now, and yeah, I think he does have an overall winning record on the year now. Which
yes,
he started out like 1-7, 1-8.
Yeah, I think he had a terrible start to the year, but
looking like you
yeah,
will be forget about being seeded at a slam. Might be moving down towards the 100 mark and just fighting to stay in Grand Slam play. But yeah, he's really turned it around. So props to him. It's been a really nice run for him, and it's good to see.
Yeah. Just to clarify, Kirit, we did talk about Busus Monero for a good chunk. So sorry you missed it, but we did talk about it. Yeah, Kuboli, he's playing really well at the moment. He's not someone you would typically associate with grass court tennis, but he played really well in his second round match against Jack Pennington Jones. Really held it together in that tiebreak. And then today, he took advantage of a very lackadaisical Mensik. Mensik, when I saw him play Giron on Thursday, looked so good. That sliding backhand down the line is a bit of a joke, and it's going to be so good to see on all surfaces in the coming years. And obviously Mensik's still only 19. He's got so much time. We forget that Mensik's 15 in the world and he's 19 years old. So, you know, but just not the day today for Mensik. Now, I don't know if we need to actually talk much about Sinner because he's just a robot and he just keeps powering through. I think it's a record, or it's actually an equaling an equaling record for the least amount of games dropped in the first 3 rounds of Wimbledon, I believe. Sinner looking even more ruthless. Well, just as ruthless as he was at Roland Garros.
Yeah, played fantastic, and yeah, I don't know. You look at all of his stats from today, and like maybe the only thing you could try to poke a hole in is that he only got 58% of first serves in. Other than that, it was a really great match for him. Fantastic playing off the ground as he typically is. So, yeah, not much to say about his match. It was absolutely fantastic. Martina's not a natural grass court player, so clay's his much preferred surface. So not a great matchup for him. And Sinner, coming off of his early loss to Bublik prior to this tournament, it seems like he's back into a robot AI mode. He's just not interested in losing to anyone at this point.
No, he never looks that interested in losing and losing games at that point. I feel like it's like he's like beating himself up in how many games he loses during a match. But yeah, ridiculous from Sinner again, just not missing from the baseline, could hang there all day. And Martinez, obviously, definitely not a grass court player, and it's actually done well to make the 3rd round. But yeah, Sinner just doing Sinner things, to be honest. Yeah. Moving on to a little wholesome result today for Dimitrov versus Offner. Dimitrov having so many issues on court with injury and health, and I think he's pulled out mid-match of the last 2 slams, both Australia and Roland Garros. But he is now into the 4th round for the 3rd time in his career. 4th? I actually tweeted this earlier and now I can't remember. Sorry?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah. But Dimitrov just, using this slice backhand so nicely in all parts of the court to keep Offner low. And, when you're trying to hit that flat backhand for 2 hours when he's keeping it that low on the ground, it's always going to be tough to sustain that for Offner. Offner, a great grass court player with that big serve, but yeah, Dimitrov showing too much quality today.
Yeah, Dimitrov was really good. Seems like he is relatively healthy, which is great to see.
Yeah, we're not trying to jinx anything here.
No,
just want to keep it that way.
No, it's been it's fair to say he's had a brutal run of health issues this year, and it's not even contained to Grand Slams. He's had to pull out of 5 matches at this point.
Yeah.
So good to see him moving on, and also for Offner, good to see him back at this level after he really struggled with injuries last year. So working his ranking back up, I think he's getting close to, or at least got close to 100 in the live rankings after this. I think he was 160s prior to the tournament starting.
Yeah,
so
we have to remember that Offner is also someone that's coming back from a extended period out, and played a lot of clay challenges, trying to build that ranking back into a position where he's happy with it. Still not quite there, but he's getting there and thereabouts now for where he wants to be, to be in slams and the big tournaments directly. But yeah, Dimitrov through to play Sinner in round 4 now. As much as it might be, on paper, it might be an interesting prospect. I'm not sure how Dimitrov will face, although it's something slightly different for Sinner to look at, I think, coming into a round 4 match. Maybe Dimitrov can get him getting moving about too much to maybe disrupt the rhythm, but with the slice, but I don't see. So, he's going to have to keep it unique because, we all know that trying to bot from the baseline with Sinner is never going to work.
Yeah, it will be a definite with no offense to anyone, a definite jump in quality of the player that Jannik Sinner is facing. He's had a fairly easy draw.
Yeah.
Up to this point, it should be stated, it hasn't really played anyone that does particularly well on grass yet. So Dimitrov's experience, he's going to need to draw on that a lot in this match. He's going to need to switch up shots very, very often. So yeah, I'm not sure that I expect him to win the match. I think Sinner will pull through, but if there is going to be a point here where he drops a set in this tournament, I think this is the first time it could happen. But
Could happen, yeah.
Yeah, I think Sinner is going to come through.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty. I mean, I think we'll struggle to find anyone that would say differently, but stranger things have happened. Moving into a match that lasted just over 5 hours, we have Sonego versus Nakashima, with Sonego coming out on top 6-7, 7-6, 7-6, 3-6, 7-6 in a final set tiebreak. Nakashima did have the break in the fifth at 3-2 and handed it back over to Sonego. Bit of a thriller.
Very much so, and good serving from both of them today, but both got like 76% in, I think. So it was good play. Sonego had the ball on his racket a little bit more, initiating play. So solid performance from him. He is the first person to win a match with 3 tie breaks on his side in this tournament so far. I actually don't remember the last time that anyone did that at any slam. So, good performance from him. Nakashima is, probably not going to be super happy with his own performance in the fifth set. Had a tiebreak, and then, the fifth set tiebreaker was just not very good from him. Sonego played very well.
Yeah, Sonego just unleashing in the tiebreak, and it worked. You see it so often that players start just unleashing in the tiebreaks, and it slowly they just start missing from this far, and then it slowly increases, and then they get frustrated, and then it slips away very quickly. But Sonego landing all of his punches early in the tiebreak, getting the mini breaks, and then from there it was a real beatdown for Nakashima in that fifth set. And I felt like you always saw Sonego coming out on top after, holding out for so long, and, making that break back. You see it so often in grass court tennis. The one break is enough for the set, and especially how well Nakashima usually serves on a grass court, to then get broken back is a little bit of it's a dagger. But Sonego marches on to face Shelton in round 4, and that'll be an interesting matchup for sure.
Yeah, Shelton not taking any risk with a late night match that gets extended into another day. Very clinical, very straightforward. Second set was pretty tight. Fushkovich played very well in that set and did well to make that one tight, but first and third sets especially, just fantastic play from Ben. Served absolutely fantastic today. No double faults. Got 9 aces, over 70% of serves in. Positive winners, unforced errors. Yeah, just really dictating play all around the court. So, it's not a match where he's going to have to come out for 90 seconds tomorrow and to try to close it out. Yep. So did very well.
I'm just going to refer back to a comment Sean made a while ago, that I was just trying to that I was waiting to use in here, but he said that Shelton really turns it on for the majors, and I 100% agree. Shelton's 5-set form over his 3-set form is vastly different. Shelton becomes a different player in a majors and becomes a lot harder to work past. And he's doing it again. Not exactly a tough draw so far. Fushkovich could have been a challenge today, but I think a little bit wary after that Monfils 5-setter last night or I finished early yesterday.
Yeah, finished yesterday.
But yeah, another great performance from Ben. Just kind of take the serves, taking away all the time from Fuskovic, and that +1 forehand he can hit from literally anywhere in the court. And that, gives him a lot of time to work with. But but Bard, you make a good point. Still only 6 top 50 wins at slams. He does seem to really like he seems to really be able to get it done quite easily against those outside the top 50. As slams, he's a little bit like Alex de Minaur in that sense, but he does it in slams, and de Minaur does it everywhere else on tour, that he just dispatches the guys ranked above him with relative ease, unless their name's Alexander Bublik. But yeah, another good performance from Big Ben, and Sonego in round 4 should be interesting. I expected a lot of fireworks in that match, and it's going to be who returns better, most definitely. I feel like Sonego can easily, well, not easily, but definitely keep up with Ben on the serving scale. And if he tries to zone in on that backhand, we should be in for a tight match. Might be Ben still hasn't dropped a set in this tournament yet, so I kind of expect Sonego to take at least a set off of Shelton.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, for Sonego, obviously, lots of rest and recovery over the next 48 hours is going to be key to his chances.
5 hours on court isn't exactly. I mean, 5 hours on a grass court is slightly different to 5 hours on a clay court, but still, same principle.
Definitely, yeah. It's not the same thing at all, but there is a point where 5 hours is 5 hours, and that's what he had to do today. Shelton was only out there for 2, so that's quite a large difference. So we'll see if that plays any role in how that match turns out at all. But I do think Shelton's going to come through. It's another good matchup for him.
Predicting another quarterfinal. Again, Shelton making semis of Australia. His Roland Garros result has slipped my mind for some reason.
I don't remember what that was, but yeah, historically he's done pretty well on slams. Shelton's Shelton's movement on grass is also starting to look
a lot better.
Yeah, early on in his career, it was way below average at one point. So he's been playing a lot more matches on here, and his movement is getting better. So just getting more used to the surface, which is going to make him really dangerous here.
I can't believe we forgot that Alcaraz played Shelton in round 4 of Roland Garros. That I don't know how we forgot that. That one's on us. I was talking about Alex de Minaur a little while ago, and he ended Holmgren's mammoth Wimbledon run coming through qualifying and then into round 3 after another near 5 hour thriller against Mahatch on Thursday. De Minaur getting it done 6-4, 7-6, 6-3. That second set kind of the key. Holmgren trying to force his way back into the match, but wasn't to be.
Yeah, de Minaur with a nice win here. Maybe a little bit of a case of a player getting a little bit worn down, playing a lot of tennis lately, and obviously the 5-set match that you mentioned. So
he also played a very long third round qualifying match against Wadaluki, where he saved, I think, 4 match points.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 match points, and
it was like 10-12 in the 4th or something like that. On a tiebreak. Yeah, ridiculous. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so he's been playing a lot of tennis, so maybe just a case of a young player feeling a little worn out, having not played this much tennis competitively at any point in his life, and then
in 5 sets as well.
5 set
formats, yeah.
So yeah, just a lot of tennis for him, and then trying to go, just feeling like he needs to shorten points and getting very aggressive at points in this match. So just shortening points, and then sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. And today wasn't able to get the ball in the lines enough. So it was a fantastic run for him.
Yeah,
a
huge credit.
Step here. And someone that I'm very excited to watch continue to develop and play his way onto the tour. But yeah, another strong performance for de Minaur. Just seems like he's always getting to this stage of Grand Slams now. Like he's not really someone that falls out terribly early that often.
Yeah, I mean, everyone can stop the running joke that August is winning Grand Slam matches in July because it's just not funny anymore. De Minaur had a little bit of a dip in form from Rome to now. Went out second round of the second round of the French. Yeah, second round of the French to Bublik. Obviously, that's a bit different. It was Bublik. Then didn't really gain a big result in Queens. He lost first round. No, he got a bit of a beat down from Lehechka in first round of Queens, 6-4, 6-2, I believe. And yeah, a little bit of a pickup in form, which is good to see. On Thursday, he played Kazur in round 2, and there was a little bit of a scare when he lost the first set. And Kazur had break points in the second to go, I think, 2-1 up. But yeah. Good result for de Minaur. Keeps marching on. Again, we've seen him being so consistent this year, apart from that little spell where he didn't really pick up any major contributing wins. But yeah, just Alex de Minaur being Alex de Minaur, really. Now, 2 more matches to cover, and I think we're gonna cover a little bit of a story here in Marin Cilic, continuing his Wimbledon run at 37. He beats Munar 6-3, 3-6, 6-2, 6-4. 37-year-old reaching the 4th round for the 6th time in his career, and he's playing really well.
He is. He's been playing well up to this point. I mean, he's been fantastic the last 3 months. Working, was it a year ago, he was ranked outside of the top 1,200, I believe. And back inside the top 100 now. Served really well today. 14 aces, which that's tough to do against someone like Munar who can return pretty well. So, yeah, he played well. Match was on his racket, as you would expect from someone that plays like he does, as aggressively as he does. A really good run from Munar, though. He's not really, his results are not really confined to any one surface. He's developed a really strong all-around game, so a strong week for him as well.
Yeah, we've seen that this year that Munar's really developed to be an all-court kind of player, which, in years gone by has definitely not been the case. Had very big wins this year, I think. Was it Ben Shelton in Dallas? Obviously pushed Alcaraz all the way in Queens. Looked as though he might actually get the job done. Was a breakup, I believe, in the 3rd. But yeah, he's been playing really well on all surfaces this year. And, Cilic kind of dismantling that form, just the serve too big, that +1 forehand, he's just completely letting go on it. His whole body movement going into that forehand, and when he's landing it, it's so big and it's almost impossible to deal with. And Cilic just rolling back the years. Obviously, the finalist here in 17 lost to Federer, and he's a very I think it was Gil Gross that made a tweet that said he's probably has the 3rd biggest grass resume in the draw, right? Wimbledon runner-up and 2 Queens titles, and especially in that sort of era when it was Djokovic and Federer both at the same time, kind of, at their, well, I wouldn't say their peaks, but they were both still at a very, very high level. So Cilic marches on, and I think just one match separates Cilic and Djokovic setup, which would be very, very fun. I think battle of the senior members of the tour. I think let's call it. Yeah.
That would be interesting. Cilic, of course, plays Cavalli next. That would be maybe a bit of a challenge for him. Yeah, that's a really interesting matchup. I don't know that I have a great feel for how that one's going to go.
Yeah, I feel like it comes down to how well Cavalli gets to look at the first serve. I mean, if Cilic has a bad serving day, Cavalli could be all over that second serve, keeping it nice and low, making Cilic go from side to side a lot. But at the moment, I agree with you. I don't really have a good look. Probably could go 5, but then also I again see a 3-setter either way. I feel like whoever returns better, especially if Cilic can unwind on the backhand a little more than we've seen him, especially up the line. He's looked very strong up the line, less so cross court. But our final result for today that we're going to go over is Novak Djokovic versus Kecmanovic. Last on center court 6-3, 6-love, 6-4. Djokovic was superb today. Absolutely. Didn't put a foot wrong. That second set specifically was crazy to watch because he was just so good, like he was 25 again, and just, ridiculous.
This is, fantastic level for him. Served super well, 16 aces, which, just a great number. And then 60 winners, 6-0, 19 unforced errors. Anytime you can triple up that number, you got to feel pretty good about how you played.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He was absolutely fantastic today. Kecmanovic was someone that I thought he would maybe be able to make one set difficult against Novak, and it just never really happened. Novak got a break a little bit later on in the first set, and then from that point it felt like the match was over.
Yeah, it was that point. I think it's been circulating Twitter for sure by now, but that point at 3-4 juice where Novak somehow wins it, and it's just ridiculous how he wins this sort of points at 38. Just unreal movement. Feel like last year everyone was saying I can't count out Novak at Wimbledon, and then he still had the knee injury that was kind of still keeping him in check. Couldn't fully expand when he wanted to, but I feel like he looks even better than he did last year, even with the knee injury. But this year he's not injured. He's looking ridiculously good as always. Is number 25 starting to come into view? Obviously you've got a big obstacle in Sinner or Alcaraz, but with the way he's playing, I think he's playing just as well as Sinner at this point. I actually think he's probably playing, he's playing better than Alcaraz, maybe in this tournament alone, not over the last however long. In this tournament alone, Alcaraz kind of having these dips in concentration, but just playing so well, and it would definitely be interesting if we get to a semi-final. But he's all credit to Novak at 38. He's still playing like he's 25.
Yeah, I think when you look at this draw, Ignore next in the 4th round, and then provided that he wins that, either Cavalli or Cilic in the quarterfinals. So, certainly he's the favorite now to make the semifinals, and probably meet Sinner at that stage. So and who knows? At that point, anything can happen. I think Andy Roddick says this a lot, but grass is the one surface where Novak probably still gets an extra advantage compared to other top players at this point. So obviously a very tough challenge if you have to go through Sinner and Alcaraz to win the title. But when it comes to reaching the semifinals, it's starting to look quite likely, I think, that he's going to get there.
Yeah, Sinner versus Djokovic again at Wimbledon. We'll see. It will be very interesting, and I think it'll be a very different match to their match at Roland Garros, where Sinner did it in 3. But yeah, I think Djokovic is looking very strong. Right, that is. Well, quickly we'll go one match from both the women's and the men's tomorrow to look forward to, and then we'll sign off here. Do you have anything that sticks out to you at the moment as something to look forward to?
We start the 4th round tomorrow, so a little bit less tennis than we've been used to.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think on the men's side, I think maybe this isn't the most highest ranked group of players, but Jerry and Nori is just really interesting. Just thinking about one of them is going to be in the quarterfinals. 24 now, which who knows? Jerry obviously not been playing very well over the last few months. So yeah, it's crazy to think about he could just be in a quarterfinal at Wimbledon 24 months from now. Nori's made the semifinals before, obviously, so that one will be interesting. And then, I mean, on the women's side, quite a few good matches, but I mean, the one that I think stands out about the rest is Linda Noskova and Amanda Anisimova. Either one of those players, if they win, will likely be the favorite to reach a semifinal here against Sabalenka.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to have to agree with you on both of those. Jerry, Nori could get very interesting. Nori's been playing really well this week, but so has Jerry. Jerry obviously defending none of those points very few of those points in Rome, where he was defending final points, dropped out of the top 100, and now he's back after one big tournament coming through qualifying and then, making this run, beat Fonseca in round 3. Nori, home crowd, his favorite court in the world, apparently, which is really strange why it's court 1 of Wimbledon, but, it's fine. It's going to be tight. I think it's going to go 5, but yeah, very interesting. And then Anisimova, Noskova, that's a straight toss-up right there. Yeah. But thank you very much, Carson, for joining me.
Yeah, thank you, Fergus. It's been a great time here.
No worries. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Please hit like, subscribe, and we will see you all very, very soon. Thanks, guys. See ya.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.